I remember playing Shovel Knight back in 2014, just absolutely loving the game. Like, man, I grew up with so many classic 2D platformers like Mario and Sonic. Shovel Knight was like my wet dream. Not only does it marry difficulty and enjoyment in a way that took Souls games multiple attempts to refine and master, every aspect of the presentation is incredible from start to finish, putting it up there with the best in the 2D action platforming genre. So a couple months ago, when I found out Yacht Club Games had a new project in the works, Mina the Hollower, my $20 was already gone. I was looking forward to getting a chance to relive some of the magic of Shovel Knight again over 10 years later, so my expectations were sky high. So, did it meet my expectations? Well, kinda. Mina the Hollower is way bigger than Shovel Knight. I think Shovel Knight is about a 6-hour game from start to finish if you're just playing the original Shovel Knight. This game is probably going to take you anywhere from 16 to over 20 hours to finish, and that's not even collecting everything. This game adopts the Dark Souls 1 map layout where you can pick any direction to go in at any point in the game, with enemy difficulty being the defining factor of the order you choose to go in. And while this layout is really intuitive, usually, it is also fucking humongous. There are so many secret areas and branching paths that it is so easy to just get lost and forget about areas that you may need to come back to. Man, I think I spent like 3 hours of my playthrough just meandering around the map looking for progression. Not only was it really frustrating feeling like I was wasting my time, the cherry on top is that this could be so easily rectified with either a more detailed map in the hub area or just have a damn map on your person. It is by far my biggest criticism. Now, it kind of may sound like I hate this game, but I don't. Where this game shares the most DNA with Shovel Knight is in its presentation and creative freedom. Mina the Hollower looks absolutely stunning, from its unique character designs to its visually striking areas that all stand out from each other, really pushing the limits of what to expect from 8-bit graphics. The gameplay, however, is where I think the creativity really comes through in this game. Like I said before, the map layout is sprawling, but it is intuitive. How you traverse the individual areas is only limited by your creativity with the large variety of sidearms and trinkets at your disposal. Let's just take this one gap as a small example. So this is what I think you're supposed to do. My dumbass got over this with the umbrella, using it the wrong way, and I rode the bike straight over it. And this is just a very small example. This is only 2 of the many items that you could possibly use to get over this gap jump. Mina the Hollower is constantly probing the player's imagination to come up with unique and clever solutions, even if the player does not realize it. Alright, now let's talk about the combat. I can understand why the combat can feel alienating. Having to jump before you burrow to dodge enemies feels very rigid at first, and when you attack, if you miss, like you whiff, you are completely open to attack, and there's nothing you can do. However, I kind of find this a lot more engaging over the alternative of just dodging and hitting with like a roll. Finally figuring out a method to overcome some crazy difficult enemies in this game with the burrow is so satisfying. I absolutely love most of the bosses in this game, and I think a major contributing factor is that needing to come up with a plan of attack way before the boss even acts. It forces your movements to be more intentional than they would otherwise need to be, much like the classic games Mina the Hollower draws inspiration from. It's not the game I expected, but I enjoyed it anyways. I think besides the misstep of not having a damn map, if you're down for this kind of retro style challenge filled to the brim with character and personality, then you should give this game a shot.